My name is Callie. I am an innovator at Hollis with Georgia Tech and Seismic. I work with Ms. Howard to come up with STEM projects, and I'm here today to present to you your STEM project for Earth Day. So the theme is climate change. And so I want you to make a mosaic, a sculpture, a collage, an image that represents climate change and global warming to you. And if you don't know a lot about it, then you could ask the guardian or a parent to help you research a little bit, and that could help you come up with some images. But just close your eyes and think about what images come to mind when you think about the current crisis with global warming. So you might think of fossil fuels. You might think of animals that are going extinct because of the changing climate. You might think of farming and how that plays into climate change. You might think of natural disasters like hurricanes and how the weather can affect that, and how the climate can affect that. You might think of a really influential global warming activist like Greta Thunberg, and there's plenty of young people making their voice heard about this issue. So I want you to pick an image you really like, and then you're going to use recyclable materials you have at home. And we did a project with that last time. We did a challenge with that. So I'm going to get you started a little bit. I'm going to show you some processes and tools you could use, but this is your project. I want you to make it your own. You can use what I'm doing as inspiration, but I want it to be your idea, your voice, your choice. And I know y'all will have so many more amazing ideas than what I've come up with. So first thing I thought of is a Coke can. This used to be fizzy water. So you can cut the top off and then cut little slits, and now it's this whole different shape, and there's tons of things you could do from here. First, if you're using this material, please use gloves and have a parent watch because it's sharp and I don't want it to cut you. You could bend these things in different directions and paint it, make different shapes like that. You could make a mobile installation. See, I bent these down, attached string, and attached things to the end. This is called an installation. You could make a cloud that way, something representing the wind or weather. You could do a mosaic. So you don't need paint to make a painting. We have colored images around us everywhere, and we can cut those up and use those colors. So I used my LaCroix packaging. See, there's so much good color and good ink on here. So what I did is I cut up each part and made categories of the different colors, and then I made a mosaic. So this is just a pretty design, but you could make an image. See? You just arrange it and paste it down. And then you could also do printmaking strategies. So you could use a toilet paper roll thing. You could bend this in different ways. You could use a circle, dip it in the paint, and then make a pattern or an image like that. You could also use anything like that. You could use a bottle, either end. You could use a bottle cap. You can just press like it's a stamp. And you could do shadow art. You could arrange like a bunch of containers and tissue and grocery bags and anything, and then shine a flashlight on it and take a picture of the shape that shadow makes on the wall. That's a great project. So I want you to think creatively about the way you can use all the materials in your house. You can use the materials either as a tool to make marks with that tool, or you could use it as the project itself. You can cut it apart, paste it back together in different ways. The challenge is to remember that we can think of these things in other ways. It doesn't have to just be a cup, it doesn't have to be a can, it can be anything. And so this is a lot of problem solving. It's a lot of complex engineering if you're trying to build something, so that means we have to use our design thinking. That means you ideate. That means you think of lots of ideas, you write down lots of ideas, you draw out lots of ideas before you think of which one's best, because it might be the fourth idea that's your idea you go with, not the first. And then we want to design. So that means that you think with your hands and not with your head. You think by drawing it out, you think by planning it out, and that'll help you so much more. You're gonna work out your problems there instead of when you actually start building it. And if you want to build something really elaborate and big, you could even make a prototype. You could even do a little test to make sure that it's gonna go how you think it'll go, basically. If you're trying to pull off something and don't know if it'll work, you can just make a little one first, and that's a prototype. So I cannot wait to see what y'all come up with. Yeah, like I said, you can ask a guardian to help you research if you want to think of more images, do a portrait of a leader who's talking about this issue, and like we said last week, this is a way we can reuse. It's reuse or reduce, reuse, recycle. And this is a way that instead of just having things go into the trash, we can be creative with them. We can expand our minds with this stuff. So I can't wait to see what you make, and we'll see you when we're allowed to go back to school. Everyone wash your hands, stay safe.